ready, guys. Like I say, welcome to the City Council regular meetings. At this time, we'll rise for our pledge of allegiance and invocation. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Father, which art in heaven, we just want to come thanking you this evening. Lord, we ask you to put a special on protection around the council, the leaders of Borger. Lord, I ask that you just bless us, bless our city, bless our directors, the heads, and Lord, most of all, keep our word sharp and ask things in your name. This time we'll have questions and comments from the citizens. If anyone have anything to say, comments, free to say it at the time. I see none. Consent items at the time.
I'd like to make a motion. We accept consent items 1 through 3.
Second. Got a motion and a second. Favor? Ms. Granny. Items consider item 1, consider and take appropriate action to accept or reject all winning bids from the Texas Communities Group online bidding process. Mrs. Bradley.
Few more properties. These are all out-of-state bidders, same one that was on our last meeting. Be standard unless anybody has any other questions.
Any questions, comments? Not, I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion, items R11955, R017, R1688, R17.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor? Motion granted. Item 2.
Mr. Mayor, we didn't get those minutes. We passed, corrected, they're passed now. Get it. Okay, all right. Thanks, Brent. No, I brought it to your attention, and usually I get them. That's corrected, and we voted on the. Okay, thank you. Sorry.
It's okay. Item 2, consider and take appropriate action on an operation facelift agreement between Catherine Devers and the City of Borger for property located 425 California, Lot 2, Block 14, East Side Edition. Right.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Apologize. I don't know why the agenda memo is not accurate. For some reason it's not. It just starts with a picture. Believe me, y'all can fire me in a few days. As y'all can see, the conditions of the lot, mobile home, gone into deterioration. They have made the 50% down requirement. So, like anything else, pretty straightforward. $385 was a down payment, and that has. Anybody have any questions? Not, I would recommend authorization to approve Operation Facelift Demolition. Ms. Kathy Beaver, the demolition of 425.
We,
A motion second. Item 3, consider and take appropriate action on the purchase of dumpsters for the refuse collection. Jason.
This is like a yearly purchase. We asked for 108 3-yard plastic. We had 0 of them come back, set them all out. Most of the time we have to go out and repair dumpsters because the bottom's rotten. But we asked for an extra load this year, 44 total new dumpsters. Of course, we still get dumpsters repaired. We order bottom. They come in. Bottoms are about 4,000, 30 bottom. Keeping our cost about $125 less than a new dumpster, $405. But for these 4 loads, we're asking council approved $71,796. Council has approved $75,000 for the purchase. Questions I'll try to ask. And
I don't have a question for new one. Said that do repair when the bottom's got out. We order new bottom,
yes, we order 30 at a time.
repair them ourselves.
We have a contract. He charges about 140, but the cost of the bottom, it brings.
So
you
it's
know,
still,
all-
so with the labor and the cost, everything,
Yes,
it's still safe.
Yes.
That's
Jason, typical lifespan of a dumpster?
5 years.
And that's what we're budgeting and all that.
And also, you know, we would ask for more loads of them. Can't get it out. Sit there and rot. Feel that we could handle another load. But
Just stayed up there, Jason. Kevin?
3-yard dumpster. US $71.
Motion second. Favor? Granted. The next one, item 4, consider and take appropriate action on the purchase of the side loader garbage truck.
last year we was fortunate to be able to purchase. We're trying to replace our fleet. Getting old and the cost of repairs are really at replace the truck. Last year was a 25-yard truck that we got. Commercial route. What we was basing that on is the compaction rate. So now we're able to go down a little bit the size of the truck because that 25-yard truck we did a normal truck 4 loads, base it down to 2. Really helped on our trip to Tampa when we. Basically, it's the same type of truck we got last year, same companies. Council approved $167,000. The price we was bid price we got. Southwest Equipment Freightliner this time was $160,800.
Jason, tell the council what your plan on other trucks you intend to do with the rest of the fleet.
Last year, we moved a truck off front line to a backup truck, trying to do the same thing with this. But now we'll have 2 trucks that'll be available to put in auction. We did pretty good on our auction last year. We're gonna have a lot of equipment, refuse equipment, street equipment.
One of the trucks you're bringing that to be a back is one you're running right now.
Yeah.
The truck that we got last side loader, talked about.
Yes.
That's the one that we had with
Yes.
truck, was the equipment.
It
attached
wasn't
to
the equipment part. The equipment part, we had a little bit of problems, something to do with air, but they sent their mechanic and he showed us what, gave us a bunch of extra valves.
warranty was on the truck itself.
That's, we,
How quick that there?
been a week. So last time they had to put a new transmission in, so they was waiting. Allison trans. That was why it took about three to 4 for them to part.
Ready with anybody else basically?
Yeah, there aren't very many chassis choices in this
Right.
market.
Right.
We pretty much had them all.
Right, and I was just
And
wanting to
we
make
have
sure
the
that-
same issues.
Right, I knew we had a concern with that down a little bit, and I wanted to make sure that we had, their response time was good, we had,
And I did talk to the Freightliner. They assured that it's better, not a lot better, but it gets better. So
Jason, have they given you a time frame?
I think it's 60 to 90 days
The last truck.
from the time that they get. That's from the Challenger Southwest Equipment when they get the chassis. And last time I talked to them, they had 2 chassis in Amarillo,
Time it took us 12 months.
but we actually didn't come to council until February. I mean that.
That's why it's on this agenda. We're trying to get
Yeah.
it,
get ahead of
trying
the
to get
game
it approved while there's a chassis on the ground.
before somebody else gets.
And this, the sooner we get that, the sooner we can put the other vehicles in the auction, that money to offset.
All right.
Forgot how many trucks we're running on route each day?
4.
4.
4 commercial side loaders.
Not counting them.
4 days.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
you.
Animals. Move that city staff be directed to purchase side loader Freightliner of Austin, Southwest Equipment Company via buy board, pricing of $160,000.
In favor? Granted. Consider and take appropriate action. Professional service contract with City of Borger, Anderson Hill, for audit service.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. I'll do it. It doesn't matter. We've been some time since we went out for request for proposal for audit service. We decided to do that based on length of time it's been, and also Katie had expressed an interest in maybe the BEDC joining with us, sharing the same auditor, so we included that in the RFI. And also, you guys realize we successful in getting that $4 million grant for the cooperation with Panhandle Northern Railroad. Since that is federal money, anytime you receive more than $750,000 a year in federal funds, that triggers what they call a single audit. It's basically an audit of that single project. That won't kick off this year in this audit cycle, but it will next year. We will have received sufficiently more than, that's a $4 million grant with over $2 million of it in grant funds. So we'll be required to do a single audit for the budget year that's ending or starting today. This is a 3-year contract with the ability of able to extend it for 2 one-year increments after that. We mailed this out to a number of audit firms. We had all of them declined except for one, which is our current audit firm. So we actually only received one proposal for it. We've worked with Anderson Hill for a number of years. Other than them being a little bit on the slow side, we like their work. We work well with them. One of the reasons why we're doing a contract this year, as opposed to we haven't done that in the past, is we put some time constraints in there, and whether that'll help try to meet that. And if it doesn't, we have a reason to be in the contract. So that's kind of the main reason we have a contract. Normally, you guys would see just a letter of engagement, but from this point forward, we approve the contract. We'll still have that letter of engagement. We'll just do that, in house. Our staff will execute that under.
Those timetables become more important because, it is our goal this year with all of our financial documents, the budget, the audit, which is the CAFR, and our public report, to submit that to the Government Financial Officers Association for their outstanding recognition program, which would be third-party validation of all of our financial documents, that we're meeting best practices and being able to show that to our citizens when we do that. So that's also in there too. I do think that we could benefit from having that. We are doing everything to the national standard.
Essentially, that deadline is March 31st. 180 days after the end of the fiscal year. Any questions?
We just like to reiterate something I've stated before, is that I like to see us change audit period.
Only one response.
And that was because we put our RF.
I think that could be part of it. Although we've done it that late prior to and gotten several responses.
I did have 2 phone calls. One of them, he asked why we were looking at switching auditors. And I told him that, time was one of the things and maybe just switching it up. And he was like, well, I thought about that. And he's like, let me tell you what our timeline is. And he threw it out there that they could do their field work in March and maybe have the audit done by May. And so I told him that probably would not be acceptable. So he then declined to provide a proposal. And then the other rejection was because they felt they didn't have the time, because this proposal did have the timelines laid out when we expected things. So we did get kind of 3 responses, and 2 of them just said they didn't have the staff to meet the time constraints, and then we got the 1 response. And that's their schedule or their staff level wouldn't allow them to be able to produce the documents within the time constraints that we had put in the proposal.
And I know I'm asking a question you don't really know the answer to, so I guess I'm asking speculation. Is it because nobody's really turning over to different auditors and everybody's kind of set?
I think that is a good chunk of it.
Well, I just from a accountability point of view, I would just like to periodically change auditors, because that just, you always have the same auditor and they way to fight any action. I don't have any concerns along those lines. But if this is the only one we got,
I do think submitting to the GFOA would help with some of that as well, because, they have a financial specialist review those documents to make sure that they meet the federal standards. And so in this, since we didn't get to switch, that might be a little second level of.
That's what I was doing, the basic third party look at help that as well.
Right, because if you look, especially on the CAFR, it's about a 32-page list of things that have to be in there and have to be shown in a certain way, and it's quite especially on the CAFR, it's quite a process. And of course, you've seen the draft budget document, and a lot of those changes were driven by what they expect to see in a budget too, which is significantly different than what we've done in the past.
You also got to understand, audit firms also have peer review. They go through, they submit their work to their peers. So I don't perceive that.
okay.
do they, because they will,
We're gonna push them.
A little more.
Comments, questions? I'll entertain a motion. Motion second. Favor. Six, consider and take appropriate action of fiscal year 2019-2020. We'll go. For work plan. Okay.
evening, Mayor, Council. I believe everyone has a copy of our proposed work for the 2019-2020 fiscal year. So I'll just kind of run through it. I'd be happy to answer, of course, any questions you have. The plan of work starts with an updated SWOT analysis. A lot of that will look familiar to the prior year, so I won't go over that. That can take some time. We did this year try to segment and identify really everything that's listed in the SWOT analysis, which is the list of strengths. We feel like all of it has improved over a long period of time, but that there are certain items that are most critical that we need to focus on firm, meaning 5 years or less. And we listed those out. I'm sorry I don't have, I just noticed this isn't numbered in pages, but that would be on the 4th page. And so some of those kind of most critical items that we'd like to address, you'll see how we address work, but those are addressing the lack of new construction housing. That would be market rate multifamily housing and mid-price single family housing. And we're going to address that. Our plan is to address that in the next fiscal year by conducting a housing study. And we've identified one firm that does those in Texas, and we haven't received a proposal for that type of very that. That is meant to be a tool that validates what the is. We have met with home builders, we have met with apartment developers, and they are looking for very specific quantifiable data on time of list, market, say, by price, by neighborhood, by age of. Some of that we can get together through MLS, but it's all kind of done in-house, it's done locally, and having a third-party housing study would allow us to say this is objective data, not come from me who's trying to build homes in Borger, and really lay out what the is for new housing. That gives them some assurance on, moving forward with a project that actually there is a market or not. I mean, we may find out that it's not there in some category, but third-party validation that has a tool to develop. We've heard several success strategy. The current direct flow is our also Brownwood, other market thing, and they, especially when we're trying to get builders who are in busier cities and they're not quite sure. Also, expansion and diversification of our existing businesses in Borger remains a top priority. So this last year we conducted 6 official, and we had kind of several unofficial business and expansion visits, like that year 10, and also to begin really re-establishing relationships with offices. We have a lot of large corporations, local offices here, but really no line of office, say Chevron Phillips Chemical Company, with Tokai Carbon, their north headquarters Fort Worth. Phillips 66 is headquartered in Houston. So we're lucky actually that they're really not that far, not that hard to get to, and we want to start, over time, establishing those relationships with the help of local support, because a lot of times those early expansion conversations are happening at a higher level, at a local level. We want to make sure they know how to success that. So that will be one way that we really expand how we're addressing. And then in our new business recruitment efforts, we want to be just really laser focused on the industry we have in our best tracking here, and those primarily are industries that are type business, plastic, additive manufacturing, things that you need a abundance of natural gas. They're possibly pipeline infrastructure, the things that we already have here. Versus, I don't plan on going to trade dairies because there are lots of dairies in the area, but likely a dairy is probably not. So, we have limited time and resources, and I want to be super focused on our pressure only with really the industry that we think would find great. We want to continue to work on our workforce development training programs and efforts. Part of that this year will be finalizing an that allows Borger High School graduates to attend Frankfurt College school. So we are working on finalizing that now. We have to that finalized very soon. We plan on working into our annual work plan this year, continuing to really encourage downtown revitalization through many means. I mean, the main way that we've done that so far are partnering this help our facilities, our small program, and some of those are newer businesses that now include startup businesses as well. So you don't have to be an existing business. Partner with on the small business program. That is not, it's not exclusive to downtown, but a lot of our small businesses do have district. That's as far as we do plan on looking at purchasing actual property. Worker is looking at building right now. We're actually contract on a property. So part of the vital is still actually us going building for eventually private. That will be both short term and very long term. That will not happen. The issue of vacant properties, I know that has come up over and over again in multiple citizen surveys, just general comments from the public. So part of what we are doing to address the issue against property, continuing to promote business that program is specific for vacant properties or vacant space properties. And in order to qualify for funds under the Commercial Building Improvement Program, you have to either be bringing in a new business or you have to work. So we think that, again, that's something that we're working on. We're working on now. We already have some projects or hopefully in the next year, but we see that as also, a very long term. And then the last one, which is sort of new for us, is it can be hard to know what businesses target, who is looking in your area or considering expanding, and try to establish those connections a lot of ways. High ground through trade shows, but sort of newer for us are I've started reaching out to site selection professional consultants who actually work with companies to help find locations, and I would like to try to establish relationships with consultants who work specifically in heavy industry. They might see 100 proposals a year, and I want them to know where Borger are off. So we brought a site selector in Borger. Actually, he spoke to several each part around Borger. We would like to do more of activities so that we're on the radar, not businesses, but of so those are kind of the short term. The next list on the top of the next page goes into some of the longer term goals. I'll just let you read those. I won't one step by step, but the goals, the actual plan of work. This year when I laid this out, I wanted to try to stay focused on a few items that I thought we could create impact. I think we've done a lot of great things at the but and we've had a lot going on, and at times it can feel like you're a mile wide. And I think this year we really want to focus deeper in the areas that we think are best. And so we really isolated our focus to four areas in the next year. Two of those areas we chose because they were directly addressed the city's process. You guys have this time reviewed first phase at the state of the city. And two of the most repeated, I don't want to call them concerns, but items of the public were lack of housing and also downtown retail. So we addressed both of those in our annual work plan. I've already touched on how we plan on addressing those. And then our other two kind of areas of focus are business return. I've already touched on how we're going to as far as expansion visit, also going not above, but working with local, also parent companies, and establishing those lines of communication, and also assisting our primary businesses with their marketing, making sure that their presence, doing everything they can to be on the map. So we have a program that we started it last year and just tested it out with one business to see how it would go, where we actually help a company build a website. So we have a lot of business Borger, primary businesses, and we're defining primary as most of their work comes, they're traveling outside of Borger, or their customers outside of Borger, those new dollars in the community. They don't have an online presence. They don't have a website. They really aren't any kind of marketing. We will actually marketing agreement where we will reimburse them the cost to get a website online that explains their company's offerings, how to contact them, and a part of that website is actually dedicated to the promotion of Borger as a place, the EDC, all that off. So we're starting the first website that we've done, the only one that we've done so far is Brooks Training and Testing. That was our EDC project. Got to start with the EDC, and it went very well. And there are a couple things I would change. I'm going to be specific about which website providers, just for timing and making sure that we're not project providers. I've already met with several of them about the current side. There's really not anything they have to do except promise they have to keep their website up for 5 years. They have to, and they have to area of the website talk about why Borger has contributed. That's why Borger is a good place to be, how Borger ties in services. So it's really part of our marketing. Or instead of buying ads, websites, we're advertising through our. And then I've touched on how we plan on attracting new business prospects. Well, and then the end of our annual plan of work just explains how it's all going to get done, I guess you could say. My scope of work is in there, as well as our board is made up of 5 wonderful volunteers, as you all know, and each of them serve on 2 of our that help to see. So I would be happy to answer any questions. Time.
Up to good work.
Very good work.
Thank you. Question on the motion.
I move to receive and approve the Borger Economic Development Corporation annual work plan year 2019 2000.
Motion is second. All in favor? Thank you. This time, we're going to our executive session in compliance with Chapter 551, Texas Government Code, Open Meetings Law, and we will retire in executive session, Section 551, 087, to deliberate on development.
We're back.
We've returned from open session, and we'll take appropriate action necessary items to discuss closed session. Still didn't take appropriate action on resolution R-027-19 authorizing BDC to execute the EDC agreement with Gowdy Property.
Approving the reimbursement.
And second, favor? Grant. Next one, consider take appropriate action to adjourn.
Adjourn.
Motion second. Favor? And adjourn. Thank you, everybody.